All right, so today is the day we're going to self-publish on Ingram Spark. So just make sure, number one, that you already have the interior file that has been formatted as a PDF and the cover file that has also been formatted as a PDF, but make sure that this is an Ingram Spark cover. And if you do not yet have an Ingram Spark cover, you need to first obtain a cover template. I do have a video on that. I'll link it below. And and then that has to get sent over to Quinn, and then we will format the cover for Ingram Spark. It looks a little different, and I can show you the difference in a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. I think it's a really important step to have your book available as a hardcover. We typically recommend Ingram Spark for hardcover. I don't love their paperback. It's fine. It's totally fine. This book right here is a paperback from Ingram Spark. Looks totally fine. But I think for the money, KDP does a great job. The pages are a little bit shiny with the paperbacks. So I think, and it's really easy using KDP for paperbacks. So that's my suggestion. But if you really want to use Ingram because they have some more options, that is okay. Ingram offers not just premium color, which KDP only offers premium color interior, but Ingram also offers standard color. You can choose your paper type. They have ultra premium, but let's get into it. So first, we want to make sure that you have an account at ingramspark.com. So you're going to go to ingramspark.com and you can click Get Started for free, or you can scroll down, create an account today. I think it's the same thing. Or top right, create an account and you're going to go through the process. If you're going to get presented with a couple options. Are you a business or are you a personal use person? So if you are a business, you could potentially purchase books tax-free, which is very beneficial because then you're saving a little bit more percentage. Um, if you do it as a personal use, you're of course paying your tax. So if you're paying $100 worth of books, you're paying, $100 worth is going to then be taxable. So I just took the liberty of creating an account. So when you get onto Ingram Spark and your account is set up and you've gone through the setup process, you set up your bank account information, you set up all the information that they're asking for, your principal place of business, which is probably your home. Then you're going to get to this screen, which is your dashboard. Now you see there's no books. That's because there has not been a book published on Ingram Spark on this particular account yet. So now what we want to do is we want to self-publish a children's book. What's so great is Ingram Spark no longer charges a per book fee to self-publish. It used to be $50, $49. They stopped that about a year ago or so. Right now it is June 4th, 2025. So things may have changed, um, but right this second it is free. So we're going to click on print book only. Ebooks, I really prefer using KDP for ebooks. They've got some great features. Um, so we're going to go click print book only. I'm going to go through all the steps of getting your book self-published. So let's see. Now it's asking you the first question, which is, do you have all the files ready? Which is the first thing I mentioned when we started this video. Yes, all my files are available, and then it asks you, do you have a cover file that has been formatted for KDP? Do you have an entire interior file that has been formatted with the KDP requirements? And if we formatted it, then yes, it should be those requirements. The next thing it's asking is, do you want to just print the book with KDP, with Ingram Spark? Yes, you could do that. Or do you want to print, distribute, and sell the book? That's what I'm going to choose today. And that is going to make it so that Barnes Noble online is going to have the book available. Um, Amazon will have the book available. Now, and just letting you know, it is not instant, but at some point they will show up. Usually 2 weeks, maybe as much as 6 weeks. I did have one client that took a couple months for it to come through, and I can't control that. It's just the way that they work. We're going to click on continue, and I'm going to enter in this information. So, whereas Macy is the title, and it is in English. I'll enter in the ISBN in a moment. I just have to get it. Now, if you don't already have an ISBN, that means that it's not been formatted anyways, because you had to use a ISBN to get the cover template. Okay. And here's the ISBN number for Where's Macy. This is the ISBN for the hardcover copy. You need a separate ISBN for each version of the book: paperback, hardcover, ebook, board book, second edition. If you want different versions, you need different ISBN numbers. Now, this is asking a question: do you own the copyright? I'm going to say yes, because I do own the copyright. If you have paid the final invoice, that means yes, that you do own the copyright. If you're not sure if you've paid the final invoice, shoot me an email and ask me, hey, Chris, have we paid the final invoice? I want to make sure I'm not lying when I fill this out. Now, it's asking a quick question. Are you using any trademarks, or did we include any people's names, famous people? I did not. There's basically one main character in my book. It's a cat, and it's my cat. So I'm going to click on no. Did we use artificial intelligence? Cubian Studios does not use AI for anything, but if you did, then you might select yes. Now, if you have a subtitle for your book, which is like a very short description, kind of, um, you're going to click on this box here. So there's where the subtitle is entered, and I'm going to put that in there. Now, is there a series? This is not a series. So we don't have any of these that we have to add for this book. All right, author. I love having a middle initial in. I think that it looks professional. Now we're going to click on add a contributor, and we're going to go down to Illustrator, and then we're going to select first name QBN, last name Studios. We do the same exact thing with Ingram, with KDP. Now the imprint. The imprint is what organization or person registered the ISBN. So if you got an ISBN from us, you're going to click Add Imprint and type QVM Studios. They're going to check to make sure that whatever you enter is correct. So you may get an error message if you put the wrong thing. If, for example, your ISBN was registered to your name with your maiden name, and then you enter in your married name, it will actually fail to publish your book because there's a mismatch with the name registration. So just make sure that it's the correct name. So if you got it from us, it's QBN Studios. Now, subjects. This is like categories with KDP. So we're going to click on Find Subjects. And we have to stay under the category juvenile fiction or juvenile nonfiction if your book is a nonfiction. But I'm going to go juvenile fiction. Now, we're not going to click the name because see what happens? We're not seeing what's inside of that category. We're actually going to click on the arrow. When you want to select something, that's when you click on the actual name. If you want to just see what's below it, we click on the arrow. So this book is about a cat. So I'm going to select the category juvenile fiction, animals, cats, and we'll see what else we can find. Okay, there's pets. Okay, so we've got animals, we've got cats and pets, and just kind of scroll through this. Just make sure it's still shows juvenile fiction, and this may take a little while. You may take 10 minutes, you may take 1 minute, or you could take a much longer amount of time. All right, let's see. Bedtime. I mean, it's sort of a bedtime story, to be honest. There's not much. Now, if you think that there might be something below this, you can actually press the arrow next to it. Just see. There actually is not anything below. There's not like a subcategory. With KDP, there's subcategories of subcategories of subcategories. Ingram Spark, there's less. So I'm going to click bedtime and dreams. I think that that is fine. But you can scroll through. There's a lot of them here. Um, I could have put down girls and women. I mean, the main character is a girl cat, and then it's a little girl, um, actually a cartoon version of Quinn, um, that is looking for Macy. And let me tell you, every day Quinn is saying, "Where's Macy?" to this day, because Macy really does always hide in the craziest places. Um, so yeah, I'm going to click Add Subjects. And here we're going to make sure, do we have all three? We want to use all three because that's how you can potentially be best in category. You can't get best in category if you're not in any categories. We've had some clients be best in category or best new release in a category. That's really neat. And it helps potential buyers because um, they're going to see that little blurb that says, hey, this book is best in category or number 3 in its category for new releases. Now we're going to select audience. We're going to select juvenile. Remember, we did juvenile fiction, so we're selecting juvenile. They do require an age range. I'm thinking this particular book is like baby to 5. It's a very simple book. And then, preschool to, I don't know, second grade or something. Really, it could be preschool to first grade, but it doesn't hurt to add a little extra. Now, the description. If you did a cover analysis with us, you should already have a description written. You could definitely change it if you want. Um, if you did not do a cover analysis, you could just write something up. I like using these bullet points, add some bold. So you can do those right up here. You can add some bold, italics, underline certain things, number or bullet, and now keywords. So I'm not going to bore you with doing a lot of keywords right now, but you could come up with a ton of keywords. And you just have to separate with a semicolon. I actually separate with a semicolon, then a space. So I personally would not do cat, girl, dog. I would instead say cat, space, girl, and then pet, British short hair. You can do short phrases like that. Um, cat hiding, hide and seek. Is it SEEK? I'm not sure. This is live, folks. That's unedited. Um, so we're gonna give this a try, and you can always add more later. You cannot change your title later, though. So make sure it is correct. You cannot change your subtitle either. So it's got to be correct. So if you've got something misspelled in there, it's going to be stuck. Now, what you can do is you can then republish your book. You can take down this book and then you'll use another ISBN number and you'll republish the book with the correct name. That's the workaround. So I'm going to click on continue. Okay, so must supply a full description. Let's see what it's complaining about. Minimum 200, maximum 4,000. Well, isn't that neat? There is another spot here for a short description, but that is not what it's talking about. I think that this is actually just an error because we just pasted something into here. Let's try save and exit. So if you ever have an issue, you can always click save and exit. Go back into it. You click finish setup, and it puts you back at the first page, I believe. Okay, here we are again. It shows we are using quite a few bytes. Let's click on continue and see if it is happy now. And as you can see, it is happy. So we didn't actually change anything. This is just a minor error with the Ingram Spark system. But you just have to be patient and that's okay. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. So trim size, this is what size the book was designed. You can't change your mind now. You can't design the book as 8.5 by 8.5 and then say, I want 8 by 10. You have to go with whatever it was designed as. So we're going to go 8.5 by 8.5. That's what my book was designed as. I'm going to go color. You've got a few choices here. You have to choose whatever you picked for the cover template. So if you picked color 50, you're going with color 50, or you have to have us reformat the book. So let me double check myself what I chose. So let's see. So my own book, I chose color 70. And the reason for that is because I don't have any books that are color 70, so I want to see it in person. Um, Most of our clients do go premium color. The lower the quality, the more you're going to make per book, depending on what your price is. If you charge $20 at ultra premium, you might make 30 cents. At premium color, you might make $2. At color 70, you might make $3 or $4. At color 50, you might make $4 or $5. So I chose color 70. So what is the 70? What is the 50? The 70 is 70-pound paper. The color 50 is 50-pound paper. Premium color is on 70-pound paper. I'm not sure what the paper weight is on ultra premium. I think it's probably also 70-pound paper. And then we're going to click on color on hardback and then case laminate. And now do you want it to be glossy or matte? I'm choosing matte because um, that's what my paperback is. I want to keep it consistent. Um, and you've got to enter in your page count. So I've got 24 pages, which is what I selected with making the cover template. It's got to match again. If you chose 24, but your book is 36 pages, something's going to go wrong. It's not going to print quite right, or it's just going to fail. So here's my print cost, $7.68. Not that bad, really, considering Ingram KDP is $4.20 for a paperback. So it's less than twice the price, and now it's a hardcover book. Now, right here, we're going to price it. Don't enter in anything just yet. We're going to talk about this for just a moment. So once you enter in a number here under United States, it's going to auto-populate all the other ones for those respective currencies. So I just want to save you the headache of having to undo it and possibly translate those numbers yourself. So just think about what you'd like to make. I'm going to link in the description box below also my video about selecting a price for Ingram Spark. Um, so for me, I'm gonna go a little lower. I'm going to try out 16.99 and I click away and you see it went right down the list. Now ignore the compensation on the right because that is not correct yet. First, we have to select the wholesale discount. And in my other video, I do go into more depth about that as well. But we're just going to select, you see, we click on it, and then we're going to select the second row, and we're going to use the lowest number there. So we can go 40, and here we can do 35. So the lower the number, the more money you make on the book. There is no option to make it lower. So yes, in Canada, you do make the most money on each copy. And Global Connect. All right. And then you have to choose whether or not you are accepting returns. A lot of websites require it. If you select no in the United States, you won't even go on the Barnes Noble website. So I'm going to say yes, deliver. Yes, deliver means that if somebody returns a copy, at least it gets delivered to me rather than getting incinerated. They're just going to throw it away. Um, and then United Kingdom, it'll just get thrown away. I'm just choosing yes. And yes, in Canada, it'll also let you deliver it. This is just going to make it available at the most websites possible. So now this is accurate. I'm only going to make $2.26 per book at $16.99 with the color 70. Um, that's okay. I'm not looking to make a lot of money on this book. In fact, I only wrote this book to do this video right here today. Um, this video and the one for um, KDP. Now you have to check these 4 boxes. The first one is asking, it's just letting you know that if you choose less than 55%, bookstores are far less likely to take the book. But if you choose 55%, let's take a look. I'll do it really quick. I choose 55%. Instead of 226, I make negative 28 cents. And I'm not looking for an ego thing to have my book inside of stores. I would rather get my book in the most hands possible so I can charge less. Um, and if I want to, I can always buy a bunch of books from Ingram Spark for $7 a piece and then bring them into a bookstore and say, hey, I will give these to you for $10 each. And then you can charge $16.99 or $19.99, whatever it is they want to charge. And you make a few bucks, and now they're inside of a bookstore. Um, some bookstores will do this, and it's consigning basically. You're consigning the book. The next thing is by selecting yes, deliver, you're acknowledging that there's going to be a charge to have it sent to you rather than being destroyed. That charge is $3 per book. The next box is by selecting yes, destroy, meaning that the book will be destroyed and you're still on the hook for the cost of that book being produced. So it just is what it is. And then we acknowledge that today, the Australian dollar, is this. The Canadian dollar is that. These aren't going to be changed automatically. You would have to go back in. Like if all of a sudden the Canadian dollar dropped by a lot, um, they actually would be getting the book at a substantial discount. So you'd have to change it again later, which you can change these things later. You can change these prices later. All right, enable look inside. I mean, you got to do it. People want to see a page or two of your book just to, have an idea as to the way that the book looks. And then publication date, select today. For me, it's June 4th. And we're going to click on continue. We're really close. We're almost there, guys. All right, print interior. So I'm going to click on upload, and we're going to navigate to where you have those files stored. And let's see. So there's where's Macy Interior. And select that. And then print cover. Upload. And it's the one that says case cover. Sometimes we call it hardcover. Sometimes we call it the Ingram cover. But You remember earlier I was mentioning that I was going to show you the difference between the two. So you see these lines here? We had to add about an inch all the way around your book because they're going to fold it over and glue it. And it looks really nice. Whereas KDP, it's just cut, that's it. It's right at the edge. There's no white around the edges or anything like that. But also, you cannot put a spine text on KDP, but you can with Ingram Spark. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that little difference. We're going to click on Open, and we're going to click on Continue. Now it's going to test the files. So first is the metadata, and then the actual contents. There's no errors so far. I hope you're getting excited. We're almost there. And then after that, you can actually order copies basically as fast as you want to receive them. So they offer expedited services. KDP does not offer expedited services. So what I recommend is when your book is released with KDP, order a full price copy. You get it in a day or two anyways. And you get part of that money back anyways with compensation. Ingram Spark, it's not going to show up on KDP or Kindle, Amazon right away or Barnes Noble right away. So I recommend ordering an author copy and then expediting the processing and the shipping. By default, if you go with the default processing and the default shipping, it might take a month to get to you, but you could get it in 3 days if you expedite things. I recommend 2-day processing and standard ground shipping, which is 1 to 5 days, depending on where you live. Like for example, if they're printing it and shipping it out of Pennsylvania and you live in New Jersey, you might get it the next day. Um, but if they're printing it there and you live in Denver, it might take a few days. All right, no errors. I'm going to click on continue. We're here. We're at the very end. So we're just waiting for this. It's just number one, making sure that everything we've submitted is complete and that you don't owe anything. So it's checking. All right. It would have shown that there was a $50 charge if you published more than 2 books in a month. Um, but that's it. I'm going to click I authorize Ingram to establish my titles. These are all the details. Um, I don't mind you seeing this. And we're going to click on complete submission. Now just get your camera ready if you want to see it. It's cute. It does this little animation of the word congratulations. It lasts like 2 seconds. So if you wanted to get that, you can do that right at this point. So click on complete submission. I'll even do it myself because hey, this is my first time doing it too. So well, my first time doing my own book. I've done this 100 times or more with other clients. But all right, get your phone ready, and then we just wait. It's cute. I look just like a client because this is exactly okay. Here we go, and it says congratulations, but it'll have a little animation right here in a second. The animation will be right here. Honestly, I might have like an ad blocker that blocks it. But that's it. You've done it. Congratulations. I am honest to goodness, I know it sounds silly, even from here, from June 4th, 2025, but I'm so proud of you. This is it. You've done it. In 3 to 5 days, you're going to receive a digital proof of your book. You're going to receive a PDF. And it looks funny. If you're not sure if it looks right, you can shoot it to me in an email, chris@qbnstudios.com, and I'll take a look at it. Um, But yeah, as long as it looks okay, you're going to then be able to click review and approve and then enable distribution. So I'm going to go over to home and it'll show now there is a book pending at least. So there it is. In fact, it doesn't even show the cover yet. That's okay. The book is just not ready yet. But if you click on this creating title record, you can see where it's at. So right this second, it just says that files have been uploaded. In about 15 minutes, this is going to go from red to orange. And that means like everything's been submitted, and now we're waiting for somebody somewhere to review the book, and then they're going to email you and let you know if there's any errors or any issues at all. I hope that you've enjoyed the process of working with us. And if you're somebody that just stumbled upon this video and you didn't work with us, I hope this was helpful. Feel free to subscribe and give this video a like, a thumbs up to help somebody else. But again, this is QBN Studios. We do children's books, and I hope that this was helpful for you. Have a great day. Oh yeah, one more thing I will mention is this enable distribution button is where you're going to do that later. And then you can also order author copies right over here under orders. Right this second, you have no books that are live, so you can't order anything. But this would be where you would order one copy or 20 copies or however many. I recommend ordering one to start with. It's going to cost you about $20, with the 2-day processing and the 3-day shipping. Um, and that's okay. You get one copy. Just make sure that it looks good. If you have any problems, let me or Quinn know, and we'll make those adjustments for you. Okay. But if you like it and it looks perfect, then order 20 or more copies. I always recommend a minimum of 20 because then your book cost is less than $10 a piece after processing and everything else. And if you're tax exempt, then of course it's even a little bit lower. I hope this was helpful. Have a great day.